Hey guys, so it's been a little while. It's been pretty busy, but thought we'd go over what I picked up this week. Just a regular week at the store. Not a huge amount of stuff, but so let's see. This first one is Morbius number 2. Haven't read Morbius number 1 yet, but I'm a fan of the character, so figured I'd pick this up. The cover to number 1 was pretty cool. They had like 4 or 5 variants. Number 2 here, they just had the one cover. They didn't have any variants. So looks like, I think this is Paladin. Looked kind of familiar. But I'll have to read this pretty soon here to see if I want to continue with the series or not. Otherwise, you're just picking them up for the heck of it. So. This one is Superman number 18. This is supposed to be where he lets everybody know his secret identity. So I think I'm only like 1 or 2 issues behind on Superman right now. I read the Legion of Superheroes tie-in with Jonathan Kent and sorry, my cat is rather stupid, but so I think I have issue 17 to read, and then I can go ahead and read this one. So looking forward to that, seeing if they really do what they kept. They've kind of been hyping that issue for a while, so we'll see if they actually do it. This is Savage Sword of Conan number 12. I know with Savage Sword, I think it's supposed to be rotating teams, so this one is, I think, by Frank Thierry. The last few were by, I forget who was writing them, but they had Garney on art. So this is the next team on it. Not sure if I'll keep up with this. I am getting Conan the Barbarian, which is by Jason Aaron. I don't know if I need to have both series ongoing here, but Marvel's been doing pretty good with the Conan relaunch. They have them in quite a few titles. They have the this week they had Conan 2099, which I skipped, and then they also had he's in Savage Avengers. He's like the main Avenger on that team. It's him and Wolverine and Punisher and Elektra. So I've been picking that one up. But this one is Punisher Soviet number 2. By Garth Ennis. Haven't read number 1 yet, but since it's a mini-series, I figure I'll wait until it's all complete. So, Garth Ennis always does a good job on Punisher, so I'm sure it'll be worth the pickup. And it's regular price, so it's not like it's more expensive than a regular Punisher issue would be. Right now, the regular Punisher stuff is, I don't know who's writing it, but it wasn't anything I needed to be picking up. The regular Punisher comics for a while now have been kind of not the best. So, honey, okay, hi. You need to move. There you go. Sheesh. This is Rye number 2. I just finished up Fallen World. I had read like issues 1 through I think either 4 or 5, and then I thought that was it. And then I was going through some stacks of stuff I hadn't read yet and found that there was one more issue. I think actually I read like through 4 or 5, and then I, having put them in a pile together, thinking that was the entire story, and then got to what I thought was the last issue, only to find that there was one more, and then I had to go find it. So I haven't started reading Rye yet, but I like the Valiant relaunch stuff. It's I know the company's been in a bit of turmoil because I think the president got bought out and the CEO was basically switched out, but they've been doing some interesting stuff with their characters if you like the Valiant characters. This is Oblivion song number 22. I'm a little behind on this, but it's the Robert Kirkman book. Now that Walking Dead and Invincible have wrapped up, he's basically got this and Outcast, and I think that's it. I'm not picking up Outcast, but I've been picking up Oblivion song. Had a really interesting premise, and even after they kind of peeled back the layers and let you know what was going on, it's still pretty interesting. So a few issues behind on this, but Robert Kirkman's one of those guys that I'll pick it up based on name alone. I know that the guy at the comic book store that I normally talk to, the manager for that location, he started picking it up too, just based on the name, and we were both kind of in that camp. So this is Fantastic Four 17. Probably about 3 or 4 issues back on this. So I have no idea who this crazy winged lady is. But Dan Slott's Fantastic Four so far has been pretty good. I liked it a lot better than his Spider-Man. So gonna keep going with this. Happy to see the Fantastic Four back. They're kind of hit or miss with me. But after the Hickman run, I was, really excited to have an ongoing again. Immortal Hulk number 28. This has been a great series if you're not picking it up. Ewing has done a really good job making it like a horror book and very atmospheric. So this has been I know this has been selling well. My comic book store actually had an ad on their Facebook for I guess they had bought some guy's collection, and the book they were touting was Immortal Hulk number 1 and 2. So we're only a couple years into this run, and also already people are trying to sell you copies of the first issues. This is Detective Comics 2017. Oops, sorry. This one, for some reason, this one's by Tom Taylor. I'm not sure why. Normally, Detective is by Peter Tomasi. I don't know if this is just a one-shot. It looks like it probably is. They had just wrapped up a Mr. Freeze storyline, so I'm assuming this is just like a one-issue filler for them to kind of catch their breath and start again. This is Valkyrie number 6. I had picked up issues 1, 2, and maybe 3, I believe. And then I had kind of put this aside. I wasn't going to continue with it. But then I read issues 2 and 3 after kind of having a break. And they were really good. He had Bullseye running around. And so far this is pretty good. It's Jane Foster, who obviously is, an old Thor love interest, and she was also the female Thor. So now she's been given the role of Valkyrie since they killed off the original Valkyrie during the War of the Realms. So far it's been pretty good. It's been rather interesting. It's Al Ewing, who's been doing Hulk, and then Jason Aaron, who's been doing Thor. So with those two guys working together, honestly really can't go wrong. This is Captain America 17. I'm super behind on Captain America. Last time I was reading, he was still in jail, and I think he's out now in this storyline, so I'm going to have to catch up This is the Captain Americas have all been Alex Ross covers, so this is a pretty cool one. I always think he draws Steve Rogers a little old. And he makes the suit realistic, so he's got the ears coming out and stuff. But I don't know, for some reason his Steve Rogers always looks a little bit like he's in his 50s to me, and that just always struck me as a little old. No. There we go. This is Hawkman 19. This is the variant cover, which is pretty awesome. The regular cover was, I guess, Hawkman's having to do with the deceased storyline right now. And the deceased look for him is, I know it probably goes along with the story and makes better sense that way, but it's just not a super interesting look. But this classic Hawkman look here is just awesome. Even if I wasn't reading the series, I probably would have picked this up just for that cover. Picked up a couple of the True Believers. This was a Annihilation Man-Wolf. Man-Wolf is J. Jonah Jameson's son, who turns into a wolf because of a stone. So weird, silly 70s stuff. I'm assuming they have some sort of Annihilation storyline that's coming up that's going to feature Man-Wolf, because I don't know why else you would have this as a True Believers dollar entry comic, but with a cover like this, and it's for $1 asking price, why not, honestly? The True Believer stuff is great just for the heck of it. Same thing with this one. This is Conan's Serpent Wars number 0, Valley of the Worm. It says it's adapted from a Robert E. Howard story, but I don't think this is... if this is Conan, because this guy is blonde, then I honestly don't know what's going on. I would guess, if it is Conan, that it's like the colorist didn't know that he was supposed to have black hair, but then, if they're doing a reprint True Believers, I would think that they would fix that. Because while they do tend to keep the covers pretty close to the original, they are willing to throw, the Annihilation tag on the Man-Wolf issue. I've seen issues where they update the kind of the look of the characters to go with the more modern look. I have an Avengers True Believers. It's I know what the cover is. It's a cover of Super Action Captain America. And I have a reprint from the 70s of that issue, and I have the True Believers, and I also have one of those, they have the wooden art sign things that they sell, and on a couple of them, the newer ones, Thor's outfit instead of the outfit at the time, it's kind of been updated so that it looks more like what his outfit looked like during the Straczynski run. So it's like a modern version of his outfit, and you'll notice Black Panther looks a little different. They've done stuff to him, and I think even on one of them, I believe Namor, instead of naked Namor with winged feet and a Speedo, he's the Namor in the battle armor that he wore during Civil War and the Illuminati. So it's they're willing to mess with stuff. So if this is Conan, blonde hair, I don't know why they didn't fix that. So I don't know what it is. This was actually the only one they had left. So I picked this one up, again for $1. True Believers, and I know people probably wonder why I even have this backed and boarded when it's a $1 comic, but hey, I like to take care of this stuff, even if it is on the cheap. So So that was it for this week, guys. Next week, when I go to the comic book store, I tend to, get my stuff. I make a list for myself of what's coming out, when I'm supposed to pick up. And, when I get back from the store, I go to previews or the Diamond website, and I'll make a list of what's coming out the next week. And next week is utterly ridiculous. I normally write down my list on, just a little pad of, sticky note, the medium-sized sticky notes, not the tiny ones. But, this week I wrote all the way down, and then I started writing sideways and up the other side. There were way too many things. So, and then with it being the week before Christmas, so I will probably not be getting everything in my saver this week. Probably just getting what I think I'll be up to. Have some extra time this weekend, so I'm hoping to be able to read a good amount and catch up. But you know how it is when you want to catch up on things, you tend to have way too many things that you need to catch up on all at once. So that's it for today, guys. Hopefully I'll have time next weekend to see what I ended up purchasing for this upcoming week, and I'll see you guys then.